Good evening. Wichita Collegiate School, where students are inspired to be the best versions of themselves through a transformative education grounded in academic excellence within our inclusive community, presents the Thrills and Chills Story Hour. Hello, all you listeners out there in Radioland. I'm your host, Horton Healy.
And I'm his sidekick, Susie.
Here at the WCSK radio station, we are pleased to present another episode for you from our Thrills and Chills Story Hour. This week, our Creepy Tale is brought to you by several amazing local sponsors. Let's hear from them now.
Looking for something fun to do on the weekend? Why not try Spot's Party Bus? You pick the spot, and we bring the party. To book your next night out on town, call 316-444-0607.
Susie, riding the party bus sounds fun, but what if we get hungry while on the bus?
No problem, Mr. Healy. We would simply ask the bus driver to stop by one of the 4 Wichita Firehouse Subs locations. Each one of their delicious sandwiches would be sure to satisfy even the hungriest young storyteller. The Thrills and Chills Story Hour is also brought to you by Opera Kansas. To all of our listening audience, WCSK would like to remind you to mark your calendars for Opera Kansas's Spring Opera, Staggerwing. The story focuses on an all-girl aviation team and focuses on the business savvy of the First Lady of Aviation, Wichita's very own Olive Ann Beach, and her husband Walter Beach of Beechcraft Aviation.
Save the date. April 9th through 11th of 2021 at the Kansas Aviation Museum. Go to www.operakansas.org for more details. Susie, can you believe that's almost the holiday season?
No, Mr. Healy. Sure feels like time has been flying by this year. Are you ready to start your holiday shopping? Check out Bunbury Mosaics. Each work of art is handcrafted in one-of-a-kind gift. From flower pots to picture frames, from ornaments to garden totems, Bunbury Mosaic has something special to fit your needs. Check out Bunbury Mosaics on both Etsy and Facebook.
Our final sponsor for the Thrills and Chills Story Hours is the Patterson Legal Group.
In a wreck? Need a check? Call Benjamin Winters at Patterson Legal Group, 555-0000. Wonder if they cover wrecks caused by the Headless Horseman lurking around the woods.
Thanks, Susie. I'm sure all of our listeners appreciate hearing a bit from our sponsors. Now it is time to get on with the show. On this chilly October evening, the Thrills and Chills Story Hour brings you a ghostly tale. The Washington Irving classic short story adapted by Anthony E. Palermo, The Headless Horseman.
Hello, my name is Dietrich Knickerbocker. As authority on the Hudson River Valley, I can provide a voracious chronicle of the Headless Horseman of Sleepy Hollow. This area was first explored by Hendrik Hudson, and soon sprouted a thriving Dutch colony. After battles with Indians and the French, and the American Revolution, the locale had just settled down. As our tale opens in the year 1789, Sleepy Hollow was a sequestered glen of small farms anchored by houses, topped by high ridged roofs with spinning wheels humming within doors. A drowsy, dreamy influence pervades the very atmosphere, hence the name Sleepy Hollow. It abounds with bizarre tales and twilight superstitions. The nightmare makes this Earl Enclave a favorite scene for her midnight gambles. But the dominant spirit that haunts this enchanted region is the apparition of a figure on horseback without a head. Back in 1776, the Battle of Chatterton Hill was fought 6 miles hence. Their American forces struggled fiercely against King George's ruthless Hessian cavalry. And in a faithful charge, one of the Hessian soldiers' heads was carried away by a cannonball. Since then, his ghostly spirit has been seen rushing through the gloom of night, on wings of wind, searching for a head to replace his own. The body of the trooper was interred at the old Dutch church burial yard. Some say the ghost must return there before daybreak. Thus, the specter is known as the Headless Horseman of Sleepy Hollow. Besides Sleepy Hollow's Little Dog, a tavern, there the local mehears and their good vrouws gossip about the spellbound region. They trade tales of haunted fields and haunted brooks, and haunted bridges and haunted houses, and particularly of the Headless Horseman.
Did you hear the galloping Hessian last eve?
Hear him, mynheer. He was chasing after me, he was. His skeleton hands grabbed me by the throat, they did.
Well, did he get you or didn't he? By the looks of you, maybe he did.
Maybe he mistook you for that white-haired little witch.
Me? But I'm flaxen head.
Oh, but my good brow in the moonlight.
Bah! Last night I swear I saw a scarecrow walking through the Van Fleet's cornfield. It must have come alive and climbed down off its pike.
Oh, my lord!
God.
I seen it too. A tall demon strolling across the field like all.
That was no scarecrow, mynheer. That's the new schoolmaster, Ichabod Crane.
Pardon?
A Yankee from Connecticut he is, but so thin and lank you might mistake him for a scarecrow.
Another schoolmaster?
Hey, and soon to be lodging a week at a time in all our homes. I'm against it.
Yeah.
We need him with the Lord.
Yeah, someone has to board him. The poor lad can't make much living on the wages we pay.
Ichabod Crane, probably another huge feeder. That last schoolmaster had the dilating ability of an anaconda.
An anaconda?
A tropical snake, 30 foot long, mynheer. It can swallow a sheep.
What? A whole sheep?
Well, eventually, anyhow.
Aye, an anaconda. So that's what's been in my well, it has.
Salamander.
Good Lord!
Both?
Besides, Sleepy Hollow was so much non-science in the air, a good education was of double necessity. Thus, the new schoolmaster Ichabod Crane brought much-needed enlightenment to the little log-built schoolhouse.
Van Balen,
Ja.
Van Brunt,
Yo.
Van Fleet, Van Hengel.
Yo.
Fortunately, a nearby birch tree provided ever-ready discipline for the unruly urchins.
Van Horn, Van Oort,
Yo.
Van Ripper, Van Hoonen,
Yo.
Van Veerden,
Ja.
Van Vaart,
Yo.
and Zondernam. Zondernam?
Master Crane, Zondernam means no name in Dutch.
So he answered after all, Master Crane.
Ulf Van Brunt, that is quite enough howling from you. Now, class, continuing from yesterday. During the war, British naval superiority allowed them to capture and occupy American coastal cities. But in the countryside, their advantage was far from...
Master Crane, British ships were anchored right here on the Tappan Zee River.
Celsius is right. 8 years ago, the whole valley was crawling with the redcoats.
True, Dole, but the British land army was far too sparse to effectively...
Unless the traitor Benedict Arnold helped them, he could have handed West Point to the British.
Yeah, you'd all be eating crumpets today instead of donuts.
Famk, Dole, you're getting ahead of my lesson. Very well. Is there any more local history to cite? Alva?
Yeah, luckily Benedict Arnold was discovered when Major John Andre, the British spy, was captured in our own Terrytown.
And Major Andre was hung until dead at the tulip tree, thus on Old Dutch Church.
Was he now, Ulf?
Yeah, and they say he put the noose round his own neck.
Oh.
And when they knocked the log from under his feet,
Ulf, desist!
and his eyes burst, and from his drawer spewed.
Stop this moment, Ulf!
So now his ghost haunts the glen, noosed hanging around his neck.
Ulf, you forced me to employ the birch of justice.
Ha! You call that a beating, Master Crane?
I am merely sparking your attention. You will remember this and thank me for it, Ulf.
Ha! As you will, Master Crane.
Why, you little wrong-headed Dutch.
Master Crane,
Yes, sir?
I am Brom Van Brute, and that is my little brother you are whipping.
Brom!
And his chores await.
Yes, well, I was just providing a bit of discipline to young Ulf here with the, birch of justice.
Give me that switch, Master Crane.
It's,
I don't need your help, Brom. I just... No, Brom, wait! Ow! Brom!
That is how to discipline my little brother, Master Crane.
see.
So, now you try it. Here.
I, think little Ulf has...
No, I insist.
Well, let's see.
Much better, Master Crane. Now, class dismissed.
Such was the nature of Brom Van Brunt. Huge limb he possessed, an undercurrent of seething intensity, as did the whole Van Brunt family. As Providence would have it, Ichabod was to be lodging with the Van Brunts all this week, making for interesting dinner conversations.
More squash, Master Crane?
Thank you, Dame Van Brunt. Your hospitality is bounteous.
Master Crane, what was today's lesson?
Today, Mynheer Van Brunt? Well, I suppose spare the rod and spoil the child.
Yeah, Papa. Master Crane's students are certainly not spoiled.
What Brom means is I seek to make them smart.
I'll say.
Wait, Ulf! You're all black and blue!
Good, Corin. I'm sure he deserved it.
Mynheer!
Corin, did you notice that this fish is also blackened again?
Pardon, dear. As a blacksmith, fire is your specialty. Cooking just isn't mine. Sometimes the fire's too hot. Things burn.
Like the fish.
And the squash and the corn all burned.
No, you're cooking, Dame Van Brunt. Van Brunt. It is, exceedingly well done. Well done.
What, do you not like it?
Like, Mynheer? I love it.
Ah, Master Crane likes it. Loves it.
Thank you, Master Crane. Have some more. There's always more.
Yeah, always. Hush, Ulf. More Applejack, Master Crane?
Thank you, Mynheer. So, blacksmithing, what a fascinating profession.
Bah!
No, really. Hammering iron, pumping the bellows, shoeing the horses.
That's a farrier.
Huh?
A farrier shoes horses. I'm a smith. I make axes, knives, and nails. Brom helps at the forge.
Yeah, we can make 1,000 nails a day.
That's many. Brom, could you please pass the succotash?
We also make many horseshoes.
Ah, I've seen those horseshoes hung above the doors of every house in Sleepy Hollow.
They keep the demons and evil spirits away.
But, Mother, why doesn't the horseshoe over the door at Carl's Mill?
Carl's Mill?
It's that old goblin-style water mill in the remote part of the hollow.
They say it's haunted.
It is. Brom, witches meet there.
Do they? I've read in Cotton Mather's History of New England Witchcraft all about...
Well, Carl's Mill is supposedly subject to awful visitations.
Ha! Visitations of Brom and his squad of hard riders dashing past the farmhouses at midnight with whoops and halloos.
Mother, last night I returned directly from visiting the Van Tassels.
Corin, Don't mock the forces of darkness. These were the devil's lands once. Remnants still abide here. Like that giant mosquito. He sails out whenever he is hungry.
A giant mosquito, Ulf?
Yeah, in the olden days, it would eat an Indian or two and pick its teeth with their ribs. Hush, Ulf. The moon is up, so good night, Master Crane, and perchance sweet dreams.
Oh, well, I'm not fully tired. I'm a bit of a night owl, if I may. I think I may just go for a walk in the moonlight.
A walk? I wouldn't advise it.
Nor I. You don't know what is out there, Master Crane.
Yeah, you'll be safer in bed, I think.
Hello? 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 Who's there? Oh, no. Who are you? What's that tied around your neck? Noose? Wait! Where are you going?
Follow.
Wait! Don't leave me here. You, ahead. Oh, pale and breathless form. What is that rumbling? On into that clearing.
Follow.
Go there. No, that the wrong. They have large heads, but shrunken bodies. Were they once men, like me? It's some horrid ritual. Is that a witch leading them? What? Their demon celebration has ended? What does that mean? They're coming? For me? No, I'm going the other way. The other way. What? You? Follow! You again? Where are you leading me? The old water mill? Carl's mill? No. Follow! The mill door? It's locked. Follow! How? Are you in there already? Hello? What's that? A horseshoe. Follow! Is that blood on the millstone? Bones in the vat? What trap have you led me into? I'm leaving this grisly chamber. What? Oh no! Headless Horseman! What happened? He's coming here! He'll behead me! Oh! Into the vat! The vat! Oh! Don't come into the mill, Spectre! I pray, don't! Oh. What? The sluice gate? Water! No! Horseman! Don't drown me! The water! No! No! No.
Master Crane, wake up! Wake up! Wake up!
The horseman! The horseman.
Wake up! It's only a dream, Master Crane. Or only a nightmare.
Only a nightmare. Only.
However wide-awake newcomers may have been before entering Sleepy Hollow, all too soon, they had inhaled the witching influence in the air and grew imaginative, dreamed dreams, and saw apparitions. Ichabod's vivid encounter with the horseman was but a mere terror of the night, a phantom of mind. Fortunately, daylight puts an end to these evils. Our hero was quite favored among the country damsels. He would saunter along the banks of the Pocantico with a whole bevy of them, dressed in their Dutch sunbonnets. All the while the country boys hung sheepishly in the back, envying his superior elegance and address.
Master Crane, you suggested this splendid pie contest, but with ever-changeable weather, I think we'd best.
Patience, Ruse. I promised my attention to Astrid here. Now, Astrid.
Master Crane, I overheard Loris Van Klugen boast he has a poem to recite. Right, Brielle?
Yeah, he fancies himself in order. Come, Loris, do recite your poem.
Yes, Loris. Gladden our souls, good fellow.
Very well. How doth the little crocodile improve his shining tail and pour the waters of the Nile on every golden scale? And how cheerfully he seems to grin, and how neatly spread his claws, and welcomes little fishies in with gently smiling jaws.
Oh, Loris!
Oh, thank you.
Oh, but that's not a proper poem, Loris. You've recited a juvenile parody of Dr. Isaac Watts' famous Against Idleness and Mischief.
I did. Oh.
Loris! Peradventure, Master Crane, do you know the correct wording of Dr. Watts' famous poem?
I believe I do, Miss.
Van Tassel, sir. Katrina Van Tassel.
Let's see. Against Idleness and Mischief, dedicated to Miss Van Tassel. How doth the little busy bee improve each shining hour, and gather honey all the day from every opening flower. In works of labor or of skill I would be busy too, for Satan finds some mischief still for idle hands to do. In books or works or healthful play let my years be passed, that I may give for every day some good account at last.
Bravo! Oh, my.
Was my recitation satisfactory, Miss Van Tassel?
As likely as not. Ichabod Crane. Crane like the bird? Well, here's my poem. Ichabod Crane. All legs or all brain.
Miss Van Tassel, do you know you have the singular ability to place your entire foot into your mouth?
Do I?
But what a dainty foot it is. Perchance the prettiest foot and ankle in the country round.
Oh, that I do, Master Crane.
Distressingly, but you may call me Ichabod.
Oh, but may I call you Icky?
A damsel fair as yourself can call a man anything and prevail, can she not?
Icky, do you offer independent singing lessons for the church choir?
You mean private lessons? For a small fee? Yes, I do. Yes. Do you cantillate, Miss Van?
Master Crane! Master Crane!
Master Crane, we simply must begin the pie contest before the downpour.
Yeah, are you prepared to judge my pumpkin pie fairly?
Or my apple pie. Or my peach pie.
Oh, lady, certainly. You'll imagine the genius of famine has descended upon the earth. Miss Van Tassel, have you an entry in my little pie contest?
What? Katrina, why, she's famous throughout the holler for her baking.
Yeah, most notably for her Dutch donuts.
Well, Brom Van Broom particularly likes them. He's always lingering at the Van Tassel castle. Well, my baking can't.
Nevertheless, I should like to taste them all. Let us hasten, ladies, before yon impending deluge imperils our little...
Of course, so tempting a morsel as Katrina Van Tassel soon found favor with Ichabod more markedly. After he visited her family's spacious farmhouse, the wealthy Baltus Van Tassel and his regal wife, Sophie, could well afford to pamper their only child. And so, singing lessons were arranged for the lovely Katrina.
'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved.
No, Katrina. Aren't you a bit off?
Master Crane, I assure you, my daughter is 18, buxom, and lovely.
Certainly, Mynheer Van Tassel, but her singing wants correction.
Baltus, if I can sit at my spinning wheel quietly, you can permit Master Crane to continue.
Very well, Sophie. Proceed, Master Crane, but gently.
Now, Katrina, listen. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious did that grace appear the hour I first believed.
Kronos, down, boy, don't wail.
Goodness, wait until I hear us in church, Mother.
Perhaps you songbirds need a rest now.
I know I do. Now, where's Brom? At least he doesn't sing. All I want is Loosed and Roost. Bah! Out to the barn.
Loosed in roost. Is that Dutch for rest in peace?
Not quite. Papa seeks peace and quiet.
Well, they say music is the mediator between the spiritual and the sensual life. Don't you agree, Master Crane?
Wholeheartedly. So let us now eat.
Besides tea, we have a few nibbles for you.
Such comforts of the cupboard you prepared for our repast, Katrina.
Oh, but this isn't my handy.
As you can see, Master Crane, there are slices of ham, broiled shad, and roasted chicken, as well as crouliers, sweet cakes, shortcakes, ginger cakes, and honey cakes. Then there's a pumpkin pie.
Here's your ambrosial. Delicious. But Katrina, where are your famous donuts? How do you say in Dutch?
Oily cooks. Oh, my.
Mother, we must be truthful with Master Crane.
Pardon me. Truthful?
I cannot lie, Master Crane. This feast was prepared by Mother. She's a far better cook than I.
But are there none of your very own oily cooks?
There are. Here's one. I made it fresh this morning. Catch.
Oh, poor Cronus, on your tail again?
Perhaps every dream has its nightmare side. And so, alas, the opulent Katrina Van Tassel was an expert homemaker. Yet all souls have their faults and are in need of refinement, which brings us to Sleepy Hollow's Old Dutch Church Sunday morning, just a few days later.
Master Crane, and the choir.
You are welcome, Vorleser Kroenen. Amen.
Amen. As lay reader of our Old Dutch Church, I want to welcome Parson Hilbrand, who traveled all the way from Hackensack. Join me now.
Welcome, Parson Hilbrand.
Thank you, or I should say, danku.
Most Reverend Parson,
Our church was established in 1685 to bring the Lord's word to this savage land. And that's why the church fathers deliberately built it on ancient Indian burial grounds. Thus the heathen soil was sanctified, cleansed by the divine spirit, and thereby the demons were exorcised.
As is entirely fitting for Lisa Croonan. Now, my sermon today derives from that line in Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 35. In due time their foot will slip. Sitting in this very congregation, many of you feel that your quiet glen of Sleepy Hollow is the land of the blessed. Amen. Oh, but if you mistake this word for paradise, you've slipped. Recall that Adam and Eve were expelled from Eden and you are far from paradise, far from heaven. Beware, brother, beware. In due time, their foot will slip. And will slip, and soon you are lost to the devil who stands ever ready to seize you as his own. His infernal region opens his mouth wide to deceive you. That world of misery, that lake of burning fire is stretched out beneath you.
Oh my gosh.
Why? Because your own sloth, your own preoccupation with illusion and indolence make you heavy as lead, sinking into eternal torture. Yet, realize that nothing but the Lord's mere pleasure keeps you from being swallowed up in everlasting destruction. And for that, we are humbly thankful.
Amen.
Of course, not every day was Sunday, and not all was doom and gloom in Sleepy Hollow. Certainly not for Ichabod Crane. In fact, he had a soft and foolish heart towards the fair sex. And over several weeks, Katrina Van Tassel began to have double value in his eyes, which even led to boating on the nearby Tappan Zee, that wide expanse of the Hudson River just north of Sleepy Hollow.
Katrina, who would think that such a lovely lass had such strength and stamina?
Indeed, Icky. Who?
But can I row for a while?
Ha! Don't you know I've been rowing on the Tappan Zee since I was a child?
Yet you haven't once ventured beyond Sleepy Hollow? Are you afraid of the unknown?
Afraid? Who dove under a table at the parson's sermon?
Forgive me, Katrina. That wasn't very brave.
Oh, anyone can be brave. Mere bravery shows a lack of imagination, don't you think?
It does?
Sure. Fear requires a supple mind. Therefore, one cannot dream without risking nightmares.
Still, I suppose you admire brave men. Manly, like Brom Van Brunt.
Huh, Icky, you are the skinniest man I've ever seen. I could break you in two. Just imagine what Brom could do.
Must I?
Don't despair. There's a resonance between us. I admire you. You're the wayfaring man.
Me? All my belongings fit into a knapsack. I'd lodge with different families every week.
You are a traveling gazette, bringing word of the incessant change outside Sleepy Hollow, and you have unseen qualities.
Do you believe in the unseen?
Well, I always believed in the planet Uranus, though undiscovered till recently. Just because it could not be seen with the naked eye didn't mean it wasn't out there. It took but a scaloscope to reveal it.
That's how I believe about the supernatural. I believe in it, I just don't require proof.
One more miraculous coincidence we share. Oh, stand ready as we approach the dock.
Stand? I dare not fall. The water witch lurks below, doesn't she?
Relating to phantasms, here's where the British sloop Vulture was anchored during the war. Major Andre, the British spy, missed his rendezvous with it, and so...
Was hung, I know. Is his ghost still haunting Sleepy Hollow?
Perhaps. However, my point is that his treachery went undetected. It was unseen, but only for a time, eventually all.
Katrina Van Tassel, did I hear you say treachery? Treachery, ha!
Oh no, it's Brom. He's at the dock.
Disregard him. He doesn't worry me.
You, yes, but I'm skinny.
Sightseeing, Master Crane?
That's right, Brom, and a lovely sight she is.
Witness, Brom Van Brunt. This is how your doubt defeated my love. This is what forestalled our future. Your fear that there was none.
Oh, but my fears are justified, see?
I see that my optimism cannot overcome your pessimism. We're docking now. Be gone.
You heard her, Brom. Depart.
Leave off, Master Crane.
Katrina, dissuade them! Mother, come! Help! I can't!
Mind your big feet, you clumsy meddler. Whoa!
Mom! Katrina, Brom, what a disaster!
Master Crane, I'll remember you.
Do mind here, Van Brunt.
Katrina, whatever are you doing? Pardon me, Master Crane.
Of course, Dame Van Tassel. Whoops.
Whoa! Mother, no! Whoa!
Oh, dear.
Stroke, Mother, stroke, stroke!
After this incident, tongues began to wag throughout grove and glen, especially those tongues loosened by hard cider at the tavern. The miners and their good vrouws thoroughly enjoyed scandal-mongering. It proved a respite from the usual jabbering about devils and imps and such.
Did you hear? Armageddon is nigh!
Well, at least for the Van Tassels it is.
What? Between Master Crane and Brom Van Brunt?
Well, Brom is a formidable rival.
And Katrina has long been the object of his uncouth gallantries.
All this proves is that Katrina Van Tassel can turn any man into jelly.
If not one of her famous Oli cooks.
Yet it's unnatural. How beautiful Katrina is. She casts spells over men.
Aye, she's an enchantress, that Katrina.
And leading both those fools to their doom. Watch them.
A stouter man than Ichabod Crane would have shrunk from competition with Brom.
And a wiser man would have despaired.
But this is Baltus Van Tassel's fault. He's let Katrina have her way in everything.
We'll let her have her way in choosing between Master Crane and Brom Van Brunt.
But when it's brain versus brawn, capricious maidens always choose brawn.
Yeah, and she'll come to regret it. I certainly did.
Yo, 7 brownie children, eh?
But Master Crane's plan for the Van Tassel farm must be to raid it like a fox.
Maybe sell off the land and set out for the western frontier.
Yeah, from the moment Ichabod laid his eyes upon the Van Tassel castle, his only study has been how to gain the affections of Katrina.
Yeah, how could a penniless knave like Ichabod ever win a rich girl?
Aye, yet we know all bizarre occurrences abound.
Certainly around here. At last night, the wailing rumming of Raven Rock.
Aye,
no,
what's the
tell
matter? Fortunately, ignorant of such gossip, Ichabod was lodging with the Van Oort family. Nightly he sat with a child on one knee, whilst rocking a cradle with his foot, telling nursery stories.
Then what, Master Crane? The princess actually went into the room with the witch and sat at the cursed spinning wheel?
Yes, little Gert. She pricked her finger on the spindle and fell fast asleep, and magically a forest of briars sprang up around the castle, sealing it off from the outside world, and everyone with Gert sleepy and...
Now, Icky. Will we have a few more dainty slapjacks? Ooh, are they all buttered and garnished with treacle? Yeah, open wide, my dear.
Oh, Katrina, my day fair. I knew it was luck at first.
Bite? Well, of course, my little Icky. And do I know just what you need?
Is every sausages come on and onions?
Nay, why not smother it in kisses, mynheer?
Ooh!
Ah.
What? The door?
Oh no, Papa, must be Papa. Oh, he can't find us alone together like this. Oh, hide, Icky, hide. Coming, Papa. Here, hide on the table, Icky. Coming, Papa. Brom Van Brunt, I told you to be gone.
Katrina, I've come to apologize.
You didn't trust me. Don't try to apologize. Quit my door. I never want to see you again.
That's a lie.
I'm sorry, and I've come to propose slapjacks. May I?
Wait, propose marriage? To me? No.
Yes, because we're fated, Katrina Minar.
Fated?
At least we were, until that scanty Ichabod Crane intruded.
So, you fear him as a rival?
Fear? Ha! I'll double that schoolmaster up and lay him on a shelf of his own schoolhouse.
Brom, you would do that for me?
What's that?
So you say we're fated, you and I?
Yes, because you could not resist me. Admit it.
Well, it's true. I've always felt a certain powerful attraction.
And I know just what you need. A kiss.
Ooh. Oh no, this must be Papa. He can't find us alone together, not like this. Hide, Brom, hide. Coming, Papa. Here, hide, Brom, under the table, quick.
Master Crane, here? Why, you...
Brom, you cad!
Hush, hush, boys. Papa. Coming, Papa. What? The horseman? No, help! No!
Master Crane, wake up. It'll be okay. The prince kisses the princess. She wakes, and they abide happily ever after. Are you all right, Master Crane? Are you?
Alas, only in fairy tales is such blissful alchemy triumphant. Sadly, Ichabod Crane's fortunes would soon take a decidedly darker, but perhaps necessary turn. Saturday evening next, Ichabod was on his way to the Van Tassel's quilting frolic, a rustic party with food and dancing and plenty of socialization. In the twilight, Ichabod was not walking for once, but riding a horse, and was accompanied by Dame Sibylla von Ripper, the local midwife and weather spy.
I'm sorry, Master Crane, that I could only provide you with my broken-down plough horse, but beware, old Gunpowder has outlived almost everything except for his viscous.
Well, thank you, Sibylla. If he can but transport me past the old burial yard here, I'll be grateful.
Oh, when I see this graveyard, I recall my childhood companions who sorted me with, the very sod under which they are now mouldering.
Mouldering? They say the Galloping Hessian is buried here. Is that true?
Yeah, and so this area is said to be fraught with enchantment from the graveyard to the old Dutch church to the bridge over Willie Swamp.
Well, then, old Gunpowder is much more appreciated, despite his scrawniness.
Oh, but my late husband's prize saddle lends some grandeur to your mission, no?
A fine saddle it is. I'll take good care.
Now, single file across the bridge here, Master Crane.
Being on horseback, I can now make my appearance before Katrina in the true style of a knight errant of yore.
Yeah, but Brom van Brunt will likely be attending the frolic too.
So?
Brom is an accomplished rough rider. His stallion Daredevil is a fine-spirited animal. I fear you and Gunpowder pale in comparison.
Perhaps, but Katrina lately prefers my company to Brom's. I intend to win her hand in marriage so we can pioneer together.
Oh, but Katrina Van Tassel is a country coquette. She's full of whims and caprices. You mustn't lose your head now, Master Crane.
Lose my head? Oh, to Katrina, you mean? Well, I prefer that to losing it to the Headless Horseman. You know, I've been having terrible dreams of late, where the horseman seems to fancy me.
Maybe the Hessian desires your head, because as schoolmaster you're the most educated man in Sleepy Hollow.
But shouldn't the horseman seek the man with the biggest head?
And that would be Brom van Brute now, wouldn't it? How advantageous for you.
Yes, I suppose so. But really, what do ghosts crave from the living?
I can't say. Their souls, their warmth.
Yet every man is warm. Why would the Galloping Hessian want to haunt me?
Well, you and the Headless Horseman are both foreigners to this region. Maybe the ghost isn't fond of other strangers. Oh, but I am. Your conversation is fascinating.
And I so enjoy your company, Sibylla.
Yeah, But at the large tulip tree here, we must part ways, Master Crane. I'm off north to deliver a baby. Although it'll be a star-crossed child if born upon this night, imagine being born on All Hallows Eve.
'Tis autumn tide, Sibylla. We all must be born at some time. I'll put old Gunpowder back in your barn when I return.
Take care now. It looks to storm tonight. Don't be out too late. Fare thee well.
At the quilting frolic, the Van Tassel's common room teemed with festivities and merrymaking. An oaken table lay covered with dishes of meat and vegetables, bottles of wine and cakes and pies, and assorted dainties. And at each platter, Ichabod paid a hearty visit.
What delights, Katrina.
Back for seconds, Icky?
Guests from all over the hollow mingled and paraded and heeded old Soapy Van Tassel's joyous advice.
Fall to and help yourselves, my friends. Enjoy.
And enjoy they did, especially dances. All across the floor, Ichabod and Katrina led them, cavorting and clattering about as the crowd stamped and sang along.
Yankee Doodle went to town, riding on a pony. Stuck a feather in his hat and called it macaroni. Yankee Doodle, keep it up. Yankee Doodle dandy. With the girls be handy.
Well, nearly all sang along. Brom Van Brute, sorely smitten with love and jealousy, sat brooding in the corner, surrounded by his fellows, none of whom could dance either.
Look at that Ichabod Crane. He capers about like St. Vitus himself, don't he, Oaf?
Yeah, Loris. Hey, Brom, why don't you dance with Katrina?
Better to reign in hell than serve in heaven.
Yeah, but Katrina is certainly entertained by that big-footed Claude.
It's a wonder he doesn't trip over her.
Perhaps there can be arranged, little Ulf. Like this.
Whoa!
Brom Van Brute, you tripped poor Ichabod, didn't you?
Perhaps Master Crane is just clumsy.
Clumsy, maybe, Brom, but at least I can dance.
Enough, gentlemen. If you cannot conduct yourselves properly, you can take your leave, eh, Brom?
Ja, mynheer. I'm retiring to the men's enclave. Come on, Loris. Ulf.
Oh, so fun.
Icky, are you all right?
With you attending me, I am, Katrina.
That Brom has lost time and chance with me. Do you see how he escaped to the men's circle? They sit and drink, smoking their pipes and telling war stories and spooky tales. Bah, Brom needs to be taught a lesson.
Well, I am a schoolmaster, you know. Perhaps I can do battle with Brom in a different arena. I speak rather well.
That's the spirit, Icky. Here, swallow a mighty draught Dutch courage and sally forth.
Sufficiently fortified, Ichabod joined the menfolk in the parlor. They were swapping fearful tales of midnight murder, funeral trains, and demon rites. Hans Verkenwitz was just reaching the climax of his dreadful saga.
And suddenly, the creature was in his room. Dry earth rattled on the floor, and in a low, cracked voice, it whispered, "Where is it?" right at his ear. Then, "Who got my golden arm? Who got my golden arm?" Then the creature whipped around, raised his arms, and said, "You've got it!"
Poor Ulf. I suppose you haven't heard that one before. No, my dear Van Tassel, and by the sight of him, Master Crane hasn't either.
I admit it, yes, that was bracing. But, gentlemen, are there any recent spills to tell? Something local?
Old Brower just last month said he'd encounter a galloping Hessian.
Am I right, Vorkenweiser?
Yeah, old Brower says he's met the horseman who was returning from his midnight foray into Sleepy Hollow. The Hessian obliged Brower to get up behind him on his fiendish horse. Together they galloped over bush and brake, over head and marsh, until, just as they reached the bridge over Wiley Swamp, the horseman suddenly turned into a skeleton and sprang away over the treetops with a clap of thunder.
That sounds right to me.
Yo.
Yeah.
You know, mine here's in Cotton Mather's History of New England Witchcraft. There's a similar tale of
Cotton Mather. Oh, we know all those stories already. Eh, Brom?
I do, Loris. Can Master Crane perhaps relate one of his own experiences with the sinister forces here in the Hollow?
Yeah, Ichabod. My daughter says you're awash in fantastical stories. Proceed.
Okay, well, a month ago, I was out walking at midnight. Oh, how often did I quake with curdling awe at the sound of my own steps beneath my feet.
Yeah, I know that feeling very well.
And I dreaded looking over my shoulder, lest I behold some uncouth being trampling close behind me. But anon I heard a voice entreating me to follow. This creature had a rope around his neck.
Major Andre's ghost! He saw Major Andre's ghost!
Yes, Ulf, it could have been. Well, that voice led me to a clearing, and just as the moon was growing old, I beheld a phantom throng, creatures with large heads and shrunken bodies.
I've heard tell of that cat-scaled gnome litter causing such a transformation.
But I fled, ere they discover and sacrifice me to their heathen idol.
A wise choice, Master Crane.
I'm glad you agree, Brom. So, in the moonstruck era, I followed the voice to an old goblin-looking mill in that remote part of the hollow.
Carl's Mill. The haunted mill. Yeah.
That very one, Loris. I ventured inside, but no sooner had I entered when I could hear in the distance the infernal galloping of
The Headless Horseman!
Yes, Mynheer. I looked for a place to hide and climbed inside the vat, pulling the wooden lid over me. Suddenly...
Hold there. Vat? There's no vat at Carl's Mill. It was torn out years ago.
There's no vat there.
He's lying.
Brom's right. See here, Master Crane, what deception are you foisting upon us?
Deception? Not at all, it's...
I think his story is mere fabrication.
No doubt due to an assiduous devotion to keg and flagon.
Brom, you have a wicked look upon you. Can you top Master Crane's made-up adventure with the horseman?
I can, Mynheer Van Tassel. Friends, we all know the Headless Horseman has been heard patrolling the country roads frequently of late.
True. I've heard him many an eve.
Well, I was riding one evening a fortnight ago, returning from Tarrytown, when I was overtaken by the ghostly trooper. Now I've never feared a living man, so why would I fear the dead?
What did you do, Brom? Run?
Hardly. I offered to race with him for a bowl of punch.
You would, Brom.
And I should have won, too, for my steed, Daredevil, beat the goblin horse readily. But just as we came to the bridge leading to the old Dutch church, the Hessian bolted and vanished in a flash of fire. And every word is true.
What a tale.
That was wondrous, Brom. Well told.
And with that, Ichabod Crane was soundly vanquished by Brom Van Brunt, whose horsemanship, even second-hand, triumphed. As the revel gradually broke up, Ichabod lingered behind, as country lovers do to speak with Katrina. What passed at this interview, I do not know. Something, however, must have gone wrong, for he departed quite desolate and crestfallen. As Ichabod traveled back to the Van Ripper farm, he and old Gunpowder now plodded solemnly along the roads he had traversed so cheerily in the afternoon. Now, however, it was near midnight. Reflecting, Ichabod's curiosity was deepened instead of satisfied.
Well, oh Gunpowder, what a sad catastrophe my career has become. Upheld at the Van Castle castle. A castle of indolence. Funny, but James Thompson's poem comes to mind. Landineer. My faithful steed. Let's see. How does that go? Pleasing land of drowsy head it was, of dreams, that wave before the half-shut eye, and of gay castles in the clouds that pass, forever flushing round a summer sky. Alas, but not for me.
However, Ichabod was soon disturbed in his midnight contemplation. A cold green light was quivering over the marsh, and then it happened.
Rain? I would have to say clouds forever flushing, wouldn't I? Get along there, old Gunpowder. We don't want to catch our death in this dismal rain.
The two paced along, but soon approached the place where the scenes of ghost stories had been laid. And it soon was the very witching time of night.
Gunpowder, that tree ahead. Isn't that the tulip tree where Major Andre was captured and hung?
As Ichabod approached the fearful tree, he tried to whistle to bolster himself. At about 200 yards ahead lay the haunted bridge of a wily swamp. Fearful are all who crossed it alone after dark. Undoubtedly, so on this All Hallows Eve, which was the 13 years from when the galloping Hessian had lost his life and head.
What? You stop now? Here? No. Giddy up, Gunpowder. We must get... Wait. Who goes there? Who?
In the dark shadow of the grove, he beheld something huge, misshapen, black, and towering. It stirred not, but seemed gathering up in the gloom like some gigantic monster ready to spring upon the traveler.
Are you the Headless Horseman? Let me pass. I shall not trouble you. I'm a God-fearing school... Ah!
The figure appeared headless, yet nay, not entirely. Headless, for the head, which should have rested upon its shoulders, was carried on the pommel of his saddle.
Giddy up, Gunpowder, now!
The horses rushed off madly, old Gunpowder zigzagging right and left, followed by the goblin steed, a giant horse with fiery eyes and smoking nostrils.
Come on, Gunpowder, go, 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 go!
Just as Ichabod approached the bridge, the girths of his saddle gave way and slipped from under him.
Oh, hand saddle, no!
Ahead, an opening in the trees. The church bridge was at head.
The bridge, where the horseman disappeared in his race with Brom. If I can reach this bridge, I'm saved.
Old Gunpowder clambered over the planks, Ichabod looking behind. His pursuer should have vanished in a flash of fire and brimstone, but no!
Ah! It pursues me still!
Just then, he saw the goblin rising in his stirrups and hurled his head.
No!
Sunday morning dawned at the Van Ripper farm, but Ichabod did not make his appearance at breakfast, nor at the church dinner hour. Came, but not Ichabod. Sibylla Van Ripper felt some uneasiness about the fate of Master Crane and her late husband's prized saddle.
What happened? Oh my goodness.
An inquiry came upon Ichabod's traces. This, of course, fostered much discussion among the townsfolk.
Mynheer, in the road leading to the church, they found old Han Van Ripper's saddle, all trampled in the dirt.
And the tracks of horses' hooves were traced just up to the bridge.
No further?
No further.
Maybe the galloping Hessian finally found that head he sought. Near the bridge, they found Master Crane's hat.
And close beside the hat, a spattered pumpkin, but no Ichabod.
This may be some rustic prank by Brom Van Brute and his fellows.
Perhaps Master Crane fled due to his failure of romance with the fantastic girl.
Or the snake. Giant
Mosquito.
Who-headed one.
The brook was searched, but the body of schoolmaster was not found. It may have been magic or mischief at root, but after this ghostly adventure, neither Master Crane nor the Headless Horseman was ever seen again in the vicinity. Perhaps the spell of Sleepy Hollow is now broken? As for Katrina Van Tassel, it wasn't too long before Brom conducted her to the altar. In accordance with her father's wishes, thus Brom conquered. Yet he was finally conquered himself, like some heroic spider that had unwittingly ensnared a hornet. To his immortal glory, perhaps, but to utter ruin of his web, Katrina's inexpert homemaking made him daily regret ever winning her hand.
Oh, Katrina, you burned the dinner again?
What? Don't you like it, Brom Van Burnt?
That's Van Brunt. Van Brunt. Oh.
Over the years, there were reports by travelers that Ichabod Crane was alive, relocated to other environs, that he'd kept school and studied law, turned politician, and was made a justice of the 10-pound court. The old country wives, however, believed that Ichabod was spirited away by supernatural means, and so the legend of the Headless Horseman of Sleepy Hollow remains a favorite story often told round crackling fire. The rest is mystery.
While it's hard to say if this story turned out well for Mr. Ichabod Crane, I think we can certainly agree that Brom Van Brunt got more than he bargained for with Miss Katrina. One thing I learned from this tale is not to walk or ride in the woods alone on All Hallows Eve. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Thrills and Chills Story Hour, I would like to thank all of our sponsors: Spots Party Bus, Firehouse Subs, Bunbury Mosaics, Patterson Legal Group, Opera Kansas, and especially Wichita Collegiate School. Wichita Collegiate School, where we empower all students to lead lives of impact by partnering with our students, faculties, parents, and community. This is Horton Healy signing off for the Thrills and Chills Story Hour here at WCSK radio station. Thanks to all the actors, sound crew, authors, and most importantly, all our listeners out there. Good evening and stay safe.